Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for High Velocity Radio.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of High Velocity Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have author and executive coach with Illuminate You Coaching, Sophia Toe. Welcome.
Hi, Lee. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I am so excited to learn about your practice. Tell us about Illuminate You Coaching. How are you serving folks?
Yes. So my name is Sophia Toe, T-O-H. I am an executive coach, and my company's name is Illuminate You Coaching. I'm also a leadership trainer, and I also spend a lot of time in the nonprofit sector. And basically what I do is I coach executives, but at the same time, I also mentor a lot of early career professionals and business students as well. And now separately on top of that, a lot of coaches do training, leadership training, and I do that too. So I work with companies to help train their executives and also their people leaders so that they can become better people managers and people leaders. Yeah.
So what's your backstory? How'd you get involved in this line of work?
Yes. So I have more than 20 years of corporate experience in corporate finance and accounting. I spent 15 years with Procter & Gamble. And when I left, I was the CFO for their chief financial officer for one of their subsidiaries. I also was the VP and CFO of one of the Kraft Heinz 5 billion business units. So I spent 20 years in corporate. And when I left, I decided that I wanted to actually leverage my experience and also what I learned in leadership to help coach the executives, because I definitely believe that this is a job that is not only fulfilling personally to me, but can also create positive ripple effects to actually benefit the workplace, because I believe good bosses will create a positive work environment for their people, and then their people will in turn deliver for their business, and business will help to improve the environment.
Now, when you were at Procter & Gamble, did you get to have coaching yourself? Had you ever experienced being coached?
Yes, for sure. Now, at Procter & Gamble, I actually mentored a lot of people. I joined Procter & Gamble in my mid-30s, which is kind of unusual. I was an exception because Procter & Gamble is famous for promote from within, where they hire people out of college. But I joined Procter & Gamble as an experienced new hire. So when I joined right away, I got assigned a few younger employees as my mentees. And I'll say over the course of my career at Procter & Gamble, I probably mentored more than between 50 to 60 mentees at Procter & Gamble. And when I was there, I also received coaching training right before I left. So at the time, right after the pandemic was ending, I decided that I'm just going to transition into coaching. They will allow me to flexibility for my time at my life stage, because I'm an empty nester. So I want a life and a career with flexibility, and also allow me to give back to nonprofit world. Yeah.
Now, for organizations that are deciding between a mentoring program and a coaching program, can you share a little bit about the trade-offs of each of those, since you've got to experience both of them?
That's a great question. Yes, a company can have both, definitely. So Procter & Gamble has very robust mentoring program, but they also have in-house coaching program that are very beneficial to the employees too. And the way that you think about the difference between mentoring and coaching is that mentoring is more the mentors are serving more as a guide by sharing their experience with the mentees, somebody who has been through the kind of the grind, and so who can share advice to the mentees. And coaching, in a strictest sense of the definition of coaching, is actually co-create with the coach will co-create with the coachee, so that they can figure out an action plan to work toward their goals. So coaching, as a coach, I believe that everyone is creative and full of resources, but I'm just there serving as someone who serve as the external thought interrupter to try to ask questions to help guide them to come up with an action plan that they own themselves. So you can see giving advice, and then coaching is more serving as a partner with the person to work toward their goals.
So when you have a mentor relationship, is there kind of maybe an unsaid or unspoken expectation from the mentee that you might help them get promoted or find new opportunities or grow kind of within the organization?
No, because you actually brought up another relationship, which is sponsors. So a mentor will give advice. A sponsor will be somebody who advocates for that individual, maybe creating opportunities for them or give them promotion opportunities, or also recommend them for like projects or programs that they may get involved in. So a sponsor is different from a mentor. A mentor may become a sponsor, right? So you can have many years of relationship with someone as mentor and mentees, and then you trust this individual, and you feel like, okay, I'm going to help this person to get a job or a promotion or recommend them to someone else. So it can be. So most of the time it's either or a mentor or a sponsor, but a mentor can evolve into a sponsor, but there shouldn't be any expectation that your mentor has to help you to get a job or to help you promote it.
And that's probably very important for the mentee to understand kind of the what are the expectations of a mentor relationship versus a sponsor relationship.
Yes. And I have helped quite a few companies to put in mentoring programs. And typically I actually do train the mentors and the mentees to set the expectations so that they are clear going into the relationships, because there shouldn't be expectations that your mentor has to help you to get a job or to get promoted. Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about your book, the G.A.M.E, The Game of Life. What inspired you to write that?
Yes, so I have been doing a lot of like talking engagement, speaking engagement, and training, and I have actually been leveraging the concepts. So when I actually put my hand on the book and start writing, it actually wasn't that hard at all. It didn't take me a lot of time. The idea comes from Aristotle's eudaimonia concept. Eudaimonia means flourishing or living well, human flourishing. So typically we think about the survival mode, and then we are surviving, and then we move from surviving to thriving. Thriving is more personal wellness, but flourishing is actually a concept that is a step above thriving, where not only are you thriving as an individual, you're doing well as an individual, you're also helping your environment to get better and help others to get better. And I love that concept because one of my values is service. And so when I learned about the Aristotle's concept, I started to think about, okay, I can make this into an acronym, the game of life. So GAME, G-A-M-E, stands for growth, authenticity, meaning, and excellence.
And then when you started writing about those concepts, it came pretty easy to you because I guess you were living these principles.
Oh, yes, for sure. Because I do think my friends will say that I'm someone who lives with joy, and I'm always who has a zesting life. Even when I'm facing adversity in life, I do think that for the most part, when I think about making decisions in life, I actually look into these 4 areas. Like, am I growing? Am I growing with something that I'm working on? Is it authentic to me? Does it fit with my values? What does it mean to me? The meaning of it, and then I always give it my all and then give it my best. So that excellence part is where I figure out how to give it my best once I choose to do something or invest in something.
When you started your coaching practice, did something occur early on that gave you kind of the inkling that, hey, I'm going to be good at this. I'm definitely kind of living into my values. This is allowing me to kind of be the best me, and it really is aligning with my skills and values?
Yes, for sure. So what I did not mention was that before my corporate career, I owned a restaurant for 6 years. So people will say that you have a job or you have a career and then you have a calling, right? And if I think about my three stage, the three types of careers that I have had, my restaurant career probably was a job. And then my corporate career was probably a career that pay very much intentionally trying to grow it and develop it. And then what I'm doing right now gives me so much joy and fulfillment that I dare to call it a calling. And if I think about how it came about, I'm from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6 children. I have 52 cousins who are all younger than me. So I feel that all my life I've been playing this mentor and coaching role. And then I mentor a lot when I was at P&G and also Kraft Times. And then I got my coaching training. So I definitely feel that it's a natural progression for me to move from a mentor to a coach and really enjoy what I'm doing right now.
Now, can you share a story that maybe illustrates the impact a coach can have on someone? You don't have to obviously name the name of the person, but maybe share the challenge they came to you with and how you were able to help them get to a new level?
Yes, yes. So lately I have just coincidentally, because I coach executives, but I do have people who are on the verge of becoming an executive or in the top talent pool or high potential pool, where both of them told me that they didn't want to make it to C-suites. And I said, why? So both of them told me that they're going to have to sacrifice their work-life balance and harmony. They're going to give up so much sacrifice to get to that level. So what I was able to help them to challenge the assumption that if you make it to C-suite, you're going to be giving up your personal life is actually to help them to rethink their scope and also the authority that they can have in impacting the cadence and business operations in their company, where they can actually now have the power to design a system within the company that is going to actually make life a lot easier for everyone within the system. For example, because this is from my personal experience too. For example, let's say normally you have 10 reviews before you submit your budget to the C-suite. If you're in the C-suite, you can actually now make the call and say, I only need 5 reviews. I don't need 10 reviews, right? You actually do have that authority and autonomy now that you can make the call to help make the life easier for the whole ecosystem within your organization. And for them, that was the paradigm shift, right? Because where before they thought that they will be part of the system where from their vantage point right now, everyone is suffering personally because of their position in the C-suites. Now they felt empowered because they know that I can actually make something that will work for me and for many people.
Now, is that something that maybe people don't realize how much agency they have and how much control they have over things, that they just kind of go with the flow and they don't really, take the control that maybe they do have access to?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's why I believe coaching is so important. Yes, because most of the time we're just going with the flow and we're so busy in our life, we don't slow down and actually ask ourselves tough questions, or we don't want to ask ourselves tough questions, right? When you're working with a coach because somebody who is not you, right? Who doesn't have that internal conversations that you're trying to convince yourself not to do something. So somebody who can actually ask questions that can help you to unlock this empowering belief that you may have about something or about yourself.
Now, within your book, do you share some of the life lessons that kind of you have personally kind of gone through it?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize how much I shared until my friend who wrote the preface for me said that it was part memoir. I was like, did I share too much? Because she just mentioned memoir. I definitely share a lot of the stories about myself because I do think that not only am I sharing techniques, tools, different ways to think about different topics, I'm definitely using myself as the example who has lived through the techniques, the tools, and the experiences that I have shared in my book. Yeah.
So
It's
what?
very personal to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is? Do you mind sharing one of those lessons with our listeners?
Okay. So let me think about a fun one. A is authenticity, right? People always talk about how you want to show your whole self or your authentic self to the world, but not necessarily. You probably want to share your authentic best, not necessarily the whole self, right? So I share an example where when I was in my 20s, I went to a restaurant with karaoke, and I love children, and there were two children there in the midst of people singing karaoke and having dinners. And because I wanted to entertain those two little kids, I went on stage to sing the song "Do Re Mi" from The Sound of Music, and started to belt out this show tune, channeling Julie Andrews. And everyone was looking at me with their eyes open. Everyone just stopped and like, what is she doing? So that was so I still cringe now that I have thought about this experience. But I believe that we can be authentic, but we also need to pay attention to the context and the environment that we're into. And authenticity is not so much just showing the world everything that you have, but really a habit or a practice on how you can express yourself in a way that is aligned with your values. So depending on the environment and the context, you can still be authentic in a way that doesn't really show up as, how do I say, unusual, right, to the environment. Yeah. So I probably would still do the same thing because I wanted to entertain the kids, but I probably will give some warnings to the people at that restaurant.
Now, a lot of your work is around folks maybe in transition or maybe their first time being managers. Can you share a little piece of advice that might help that first time manager kind of get the most out of their role?
Yes, I actually have more than one, but I. So when you think about someone transitioning from being an individual contributor to a people manager, is a rite of passage for them, because where they used to be rewarded on their technical expertise, they now actually have to rely on someone else to do the job for them. So, so it's a scary transition. It's a rite of passage. So what I have kind of mentor and also coach a lot of the early career professionals and also some executives too who may have come from individual contributors background but got promoted really quickly, is that you have to remember that now that you are managing someone, you actually have to spend time to get to know that person first. You want to go slow to go fast. And also you are now playing almost like a coach role to help develop that person. Because if you successfully can kind of unleash the potential in your direct reports, you now are actually empowering yourself too to do bigger things. You now have developed expanded brains for yourself too, right? Someone else can also think alongside you that can actually expand that thinking. So I do think that a big transition for being a individual contributor to a manager is really understanding that you cannot be a know-it-all. You are now actually working with this individual here where you actually have to spend some time understanding them. To go slow, then you can go fast with them. Because once you turn them into someone who is unleashing the potential, you are actually growing capabilities that you can help yourself as well. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win solution. It's a triple win solution because it helps the company and organizations too.
Now, how do you deliver your coaching? Do you work primarily with organizations that bring you in to do talks or trainings, or do you work one-on-one with folks? How do you deliver your coaching?
Both. So if I think about, I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, but I also do training with organizations. Sometimes I do team coaching and group coaching too. And many times my training comes with the options of one-on-one coaching. So let's say if I'm training people on a certain topic, I will offer the organizations, let's say 10, 30 minutes coaching sessions for people who participate in the training to sign up with me, because a lot of the time you go to a training, it's one size fits all, and then your situation is different and uniquely yourself, and they need some follow-up coaching session. And typically I actually do offer one-on-one coaching after my training. But separately, I do have a lot of the one-on-one coaching that I'm doing with executives. Yeah.
So what is kind of that ideal client profile from you? You mentioned nonprofits. Are there types of companies that your work kind of gravitates towards?
Yes, I do want to say, yes, I do have some nonprofit clients, but for the most part, my clients are coming from corporate because of my 20 years of experience in corporate. I have a lot of clients from finance and accounting, engineering, design, actually all over the board. Actually, I have coached for more than 1,500 sessions since I left corporate. And I would say that it's pretty diverse in terms of the functions that they are in, and industries too. But for the most part, I do think I get a lot of finance and accounting clients because they feel that I understand their life, and also from different functions too, HR, design, engineering, just because of my tenure in corporate.
And what is the challenge that they're typically having where they're like, I better call Sophia?
Getting over their mindset. Let's say perfectionism, that is a big one. And it ebbs and flows depending on the topics in the in the industry too. So I would say 2 years ago is return to office. And now I do want to say that there is a common theme across organizations that are typically matrix, where people have to streamline their communication, unclear roles and responsibilities. So many times I'm helping my clients to really helping them to manage the complexities within the environments. And many times influencing is a big one, influencing up, influencing down, motivating their employees. So just typical topics that an executive will have to be worried about. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to learn more about your coaching or get a hold of the book, what is the best way to connect with you and learn more?
Yes, well, they can connect with me on LinkedIn, Sophia Toh, SOPHIA and I'm the one with the Chinese characters on it because I put my Chinese name on LinkedIn. And they can also go to my website, Illuminate, ILLUMINATE dash U, the letter U, dash coaching, COACHING.com.
And then the book is at thegameoflifebook.net.
Yes, yeah. So the website for the book is thegameoflifebook.net. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing such important work, and we appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much, Lee.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on High Velocity Radio.
Thank you.